Hi guys, I know I'm a little late in the day today. I was actually watching a bunch of videos about how to do an open house. I do have some good news. I'm hosting 2 open houses this weekend, 2 different ones, but for the same realtor. So no, I'm not going to get credit, obviously, if it's her house that I'm doing the open house for, if it sells. Unless someone comes in, wants to put in an offer, and they don't have an agent, in which case I can help them with the paperwork and act as their agent if they so let me, in which case I would get the buyer's commission for that on that side. So that's a possibility, but not a likelihood. The reason I am doing this is so that I can find, people, clients that don't have agents already, buyers that I can help out. And usually if you get out there, get a contact list of people, a good like 60% of them or more don't already have agents. Sorry, the cat was coming up here and I thought he was going to try to climb in my lap with his big chubby butt. So that's kind of the purpose of an open house when you do it for somebody else, is that you hopefully can make some connections with people and start to get your name out there, your cards out there, your contact information out there. Because even if they don't buy or they're not looking, they might be looking for a friend or family member, and they can recommend you to those people as well. So it's a kind of way to get you out there. Obviously, there's going to be some door knocking and stuff, which I am no stranger to as well. And I will be doing that as well here soon. But I'm trying to start with one thing and not overwhelm myself. I just I guess I'm just talking today. I mean, I didn't have any like specific, really anything that I thought of to talk about. So I'm just talking, I guess, and whatever comes to mind at this point. Now, I had gotten a little bit of flack for past videos because sometimes I have a filter on because I don't like these forehead wrinkles. I hate them. I'm feeling my age. I get a little bit of something there too going on. Today there is no filter, so for the person that commented on that, filter free today, I'm doing my best here, okay? Sometimes though, I don't have, I'll have a bad day where I'm not feeling confident in myself, and then you might see a filter on there, but I don't do anything big. I don't put on fake eyelashes or any of that stuff. I try to be as real as possible, but obviously we all have our own self-esteem issues, and watching myself talk as it is, like looking at the videos afterwards where my voice does not sound anything like it does to me in my own ears, freaks me out a little bit. It makes me feel stupid. And I know that it's probably for each the same for like all of you guys. And it's something that people have to deal with, but regular people, like normal everyday people, are used to hearing you talk and your weird mannerisms that look totally odd to you when you make different facial expressions and stuff, and they probably don't look weird to those people at all, or for most people anyways. So I try to get past that, but it's like a mental hang-up thing, which I'm working on. I'm still working on myself. I'm obviously not perfect. There was kind of something that it was a comment that was made about one of my videos, and it said specifically that when I said when the first time I did meth was on my mom's watch, not my dad's, and the comment was made that it was on my watch as well. So I do want to clarify how I feel about that a little bit, just because I want it to be apparent that I by no means think that my mother has any blame to my addictions or my problems. Me and her have our own problems. I have some mental stuff that that we need to deal with together at some point, hopefully, if she's willing to do that. Growing up stuff that, that wasn't relevant to the rest of the story, so I didn't talk about it again because it's not my intention to badmouth her in any way, shape, or form. But I do want to clarify that as far as who has responsibility for me getting high, regardless of relapses, and who influenced me or made me feel pressured or anything else along the way, ultimately it was me who made the decision to get high every time I did it. After you've been doing it for a while, it becomes kind of more than that. because then it comes to where you need to get high just to feel normal or get out of bed or function, and that's when it gets into the worst addiction stages. But I take 100% responsibility for making the decision to get high, going crazy, and doing everything that I did beyond that as well. Not that it's obviously my mind was thinking a lot differently then and while high than it does when I'm sober and trying my best to be a good person. But when it comes down to it, I know whose fault it was, and I'm not blaming anyone but myself. I'm not blaming, everyone has emotions. Everyone has bad things that happen in their life. Everyone has things that make them feel like they might have depression or anxiety or anything else, and it might just be chemical makeup, and it might be events that happened that have made them, given them, like a PTSD kind of response, or different responses that affect you mentally long term. And I do think like patterns of abuse affect your decisions later. For instance, I think that if you're in an environment where people treat you like you don't matter, then you're more likely later on to, say, end up in a relationship with someone who treats you the same way, because it becomes this kind of normal thing in your mind, and you don't recognize that you're miserable until it's too late and you're stuck there and you feel like you can't get out. And I think that is definitely something that affects people later on. Obviously, if your mind is weakened, you're more prone to not resisting, drug and alcohol use, or becoming obsessed or addicted or whatnot. But when it comes down to it, we are accountable for our actions. We must be accountable for our actions. We must take responsibility for what we've done and what we did, and hopefully learn from it and just try to be better, because there's nothing that can change what's already done. You can change how people feel about it. You can change how people feel about you. You can change what you do today and what you do going into the future and every minute past today. But you can't change what's already done. You can't change what's past, and hopefully eventually will be forgotten, or at least forgiven. And to hold on to those things for years and years and let them affect how you act towards people and yourself and your family and your children going into your future and the rest of your life is a big mistake. You have to learn to forgive yourself first. And I'm saying this not just for me, but I know that there are so many of you who have had their own experiences, and they're all unique and different. And I've spoken to a lot of you, on personal levels about them, which I would, of course, never divulge. That's all private conversations. But in a general sense of things, a lot of us have this kind of latent guilt that we carry around with us, and regrets and emotions that sometimes turn to deeper problems like depression or anxiety, or something even, worse than that along the way. And a lot of that is because we take these emotions that even after we get better, after we're stronger, after we're healing, we still hold this kind of just regret and remorse and shame about what we did before, and the fact that we probably remember it more poignantly than anyone else. So just kind of remember that we are the result of ourselves, our experiences, our actions, our responses. You are only what you allow yourself to be, and what you strive to be, and what you push yourself to be. But we're also the sum of our actions. You can take terrible things that you've done, things that you think are not forgivable, and you can use those things to teach your children how to be better, to speak to other people who you can see are struggling, going through these things. Instead of turning your back on them, even though you're through it, maybe just reach out a hand and talk another addict through their issues and help them get on the right path. Or, all of these things will help you heal from the things that you've done and that you have a hard time forgiving yourself for. I promise you. I don't do my best to help people for any personal gain type of reasons. I do my best to help people because I know exactly how they feel. I know exactly what they're going through, even if their experiences are different than my own. The responses are the same. The emotions are the same. Roller coaster, up and down, and tons of guilt and remorse. And if you don't take the time, to reach out to someone who's begging you to reach out to them just for a moment and let them know they're not a bad person, they can be better. They just have to care enough to try. You can get to one person. If you can get to one person, you can change their life forever, and all of your struggles become worth it. Like, I serious when I say I wouldn't change anything about the past, because so many people have managed to get some sort of help from my experiences and my story and my life, and even if I had a chance right now to take it all down and wipe everyone's minds, I wouldn't do it, because I'm ready to own up for my actions. I'm ready to be responsible. I'm ready to prove myself in the world. I've been ready for a while now, but I'm ready to actually speak on it. And again, I'm just begging those of you who are still struggling, who need a little bit of help, if nothing else, reach out to me. Okay, I will be here. I will talk you through it. I will not judge you. I will not make you feel like crap about it. I think this all comes just from a point, again, just from that one comment made me just think about all this, and I do talk to people all the time, and I really do hope that I've managed to help them through at least one or two of them. I feel like there's been more, but you never know. I don't ever think that that I would be the reason for anyone's like greatness or any of that. I by no means have that kind of ego. I still get myself for all my little flaws and all my little problems and all my little issues, and I get through it. I just want to be a good example for the people that want to follow me into a better life. I mean, a lot of people just follow my story. They watch what I'm doing, and I want to be a good example, someone that they can watch what I'm doing and say, hey, maybe I can do it too. Again, you're not bothering me if you need to talk. I have tons of platforms. Reach out to me, private message me. I don't repeat anything you ever tell me. I would never do anything to hurt you, but I will be brutally honest, blunt. If you ask me, give me a situation and tell me what the problem is, I'll tell you if it's you or not, and I'll tell you why, what's apparent, what's obvious from someone who's not involved looking into the situation. And it sometimes helps give you perspective on what's actually going on and what's real, because sometimes your emotions make you believe things that can create bigger problems down the road, and I'm more than willing to be there to help you. And so I just don't want you guys to ever think that I mean, even if you just want to say hi, okay? Don't ever think you're bothering me. You're not. Again, sometimes it might take me a little bit. I'm working 2 jobs at the moment. I'm doing some stuff, but I will always respond to you. I will always get back to you, even if it takes me a little bit of time. So I don't want any of you guys to think that you're alone out there, because there are people, and not just me, but I know a lot of you guys that care what happens to others, that care if they're hurt, that care that somebody needs just a little bit, a kind word, something. And I just want those of you who are still struggling, who are watching, to know that I am here regardless. Doesn't matter that I've never met you, I still know you. And it doesn't matter that we've never spoken, but there's still, I still have this kind of like deep response emotion towards people who need the help, want the help, and just don't know where to turn, because I know what it feels like. I know what it feels like to be homeless and starving. I know the feeling of not eating for 4 or 5 days and watching people through their dining room windows at dinner time while I'm walking down the road, just eating fried chicken, and watching people walk into a convenience store and coming out with bags of snacks and not having a dime, and feeling so terrible about myself, not even having the strength to ask for $1 so that I could get a snack. I know what it feels like. The worst of the worst. And I promise that that feeling of starvation is the same feeling that you get when you don't have anyone to talk to about it. You don't have anyone to lean on. You don't have anyone to help give you a little bit of direction. It's just being lost alone in the darkness and terrified that there's no way out. And I don't want anyone to ever feel like that. So I just want you to know that that I think that a lot of us would be willing to step up and help you if you just reach out to people and give it a chance, okay? So, sorry, I just had some memories floating in on that. Anyways, I think that's all I got for this week. I'm getting a little bit choked up, and I want to be positive. And that was meant to be positive. I just, when I think about people who are hurting and struggling and alone, it hurts. And whew, okay, I'm okay. I'm gonna be okay. Anyways, if anyone's in the Northern Nevada area and you have some time, you want to stop by one of my open houses and just say hi, just PM me. I'll give you the addresses. I love you all. I wish you all the best. And again, please, you're not bothering me if you need me, okay? All right, I will talk to you guys next week. Sorry about the little bit of mush moment there. But I'm here. I'm there. I'm hopefully going to be with it tomorrow. And I'm going to be okay. All right. I love you guys. I'll see you next week.